it's very complicated. Like, it's very hard for me to put it into one single word. There's so much that I want to do. Hi, my name is Nilasha, and I'm an international student, and I go to this university called Carr. I'm in my 4th year. I'm graduating very soon, and I wish to freelance after my degree is over. For me, like, my world was very black and white. I grew up in a boarding school throughout my life, and my school was very traditional. And to see art from a different lens, and to know that, to expand my horizons and like get into like other faculties and like ceramics and printmaking, and just sort of like trying to bring all of it together, has been such a wholesome and holistic experience, and I feel grateful every single day for it. I have never had a very consistent art style, and I would beat myself about it, but I feel like that is also something that makes me an artist. I feel like my work is always evolving with time, with like place and my culture. Coming in a foreign country, being so independent, having to take in charge of your life, sort of like puts you in a position where you have to confront yourself in every aspect, and that sort of like helped me be more connected with my work. I wouldn't really sort of like I did create a lot of paintings, but it did not really come. It was more like, oh, I would make like replicas of other artists and like sort of like make like these masterpieces that sort of I could learn from. But then I did not really know what I wanted to paint, and now I feel like I really miss my culture so much, and I bring it a lot in my world and my art as well. Talking about like Hindu mythology, or talking about just like Indian figures or Indian history, and I never did that before, and I never anticipated it to like sort of flourish coming to a foreign country. But then, because how diverse and sort of inclusive this place is, it definitely gives me a space to talk about. I definitely see myself doing masters as well, and I want to go to Europe for that, but not anytime soon. So I hope to like go around the country and work with other artists, and of course like my social media has been helping me a lot with that, and yeah, I want to push myself further with it. I always work with like a couple of pieces simultaneously. I'm like a really fast painter, and I like building up my work from 2 to 3 layers. I start with acrylic, and then I go forward with oil, and I feel inspired by anything that I watch. I feel even if I'm watching like some sort of reality show, I feel like that could be inspiring for me, and it has been in the past. So yeah, I practice every single day, even if it's just for 20 minutes, so that I have a consistent flow. And I have so much work that I have built up over the year, and it varies from like portrait paintings to landscapes. And yeah, I want to showcase everything in the exhibition. I was in this show last year, and I was of course very nervous at first, but then like as I showed up, I realized how welcoming the team was, and even the outcome of this sale was phenomenal, and it was one of the first sales I participated in after coming to Canada, and it just gave me like a boost of confidence to keep going further with it. So yeah, I had an amazing experience. Like this vivid memory I have of this like person reaching out to me after the show. It was not because he wanted a commission, but then I did not sign most of my paintings for some reason, and then he like traveled all the way from, it was like Surrey or somewhere, and then he came all the way to East Van, and he just asked for my signature. And then I was just like, that is like the sweetest thing someone has done. And it sort of course it made me aware of the fact that I need to sign my paintings, but it also sort of like gave me a lot of like confidence to be like, oh wait, somebody actually wants my signature on a painting. And I was like, wow. But yeah, I feel because like the sale was one of the first platforms that I put myself in, it just showed me that there's so much potential, and like I would never actually take part in like local sales here. And ever since, like I feel like I want to go further with it, and I want not even Vancouver, like I want to graduate and get my car and just like go around Canada and like participate in like sales like these. My work has a lot of like I feel like every painting is very different. Some like few of the paintings that like, especially the larger scale works that I've worked with, has like a lot of like Indian motifs, or like especially India is so diverse. Like every state has a different culture, and I have spoken about that in my work. It could be like through the lens of like appreciating the Indian attire, or just like the mundane life that like we live on a day-to-day basis. That's something I love to talk about in my work as well. And even sort of like the transition of like living in a very small town to like coming to a very massive city. And I love appreciating that and talking about it just by sort of like capturing it and painting it on my canvas. It could be from the SkyTrain. I love painting the SkyTrain because I live right beside it. And just nature. I grew up in a tea garden, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
A tea garden?
My boarding school was basically situated in like a jungle, and it was converted into a school, and we had like 300 acres of just tea garden that I grew up around in, and we had monkeys that would barge into our rooms. And yeah, I feel like I lived in the wild, and that definitely inspired a lot of my work for sure. Right after I graduated from school, which was like in 2022, I came straight to Canada, and I did not really have like a first-hand experience of like exhibiting my work there, or like sort of like networking. And it is something it's almost like an untouched field that I'm almost like scared that like once I go back, I almost feel like I'll have to start all over again, because I feel like I have an experience of how things work here, and I know it's very different in India. And in India, I feel like it has a lot to do with like the connections you form, and of course like coming from my school, I feel like my teachers could be a huge help, and they've always been. Even till date, I went back to India this time, and then I went to meet my school teacher just to ask like where should I go ahead with this. It's just like, it almost feels like I'm talking to a parent. I started painting as like a child would, like around 2-3 years old, and then my parents recognized my skill, and my father's brother, around when I was like 6-7 years old, I would make like these sketches of like Disney princesses, and then he would like sort of take pictures of it and publish it in like the regional newspaper, because I lived in a very small town. And yeah, and then since then my parents were like, you were born to be an artist, you have to be an artist, and that's it. And then I was like, okay, thank you. I still remember by the time I was graduating from school, there were around 10 to 15 of us who were pursuing art as a subject in my school, and there were only 2 of us who actually graduated from school and went into an art university, and the other girl who's actually doing art is sort of combining her degree with the science field. So nobody's actually like pursuing art like fine arts, so the probability of it is definitely very low. But I feel like times have changed, and I hope it does. And I also feel like I want to go back to India, and I want to set an example for the future generation to help them out to see that there is so much potential in this field, because through like the power of social media, I am seeing a lot of like international graduates going back to India and sort of like talking about it. And yeah, it's just inspiring, and like it sets an example that, oh, you can do it too as well. It feels like a responsibility, but then it also feels like a privilege to have the responsibility that I am in a position where I can pursue something. I am gifted with, it could be my talent or just my capability to just keep going. And most importantly, I feel like my parents, yeah, love them. They're so amazing. I just love my parents.